Hi there, my name is Trinity, and today we are going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. Yay! So if you have not been on the booktubes for quite a while, I feel like every single year, every booktuber whips out the mid-year freakout tag because we realize we're halfway through the year already, and how is that reading goal doing? We don't know. But speaking of reading goals, my reading goal this year is 70 books, and what is she at? I'm at 61 books. Confetti. I've read 61 books this year. That's insane. I've never read that many books in that short of amount of time. So, however, I can tell it's going slightly downhill, but I only need to read 9 more books this year and then I can be fulfilled with my life. So that's wonderful. But without further ado, let's get into the mid-year freakout tag. So the first question is the best book you've read this year. And I feel like this is kind of obvious. Happy Place by Emily Henry. Are we joking? It's not everyone's favorite, but it is my 5-star read. I can't even explain in words how much I love this book and how I think about it on like an hourly basis and how much these characters stuck with me and how much I love Harriet and how much I love Wynne. If you do not know what Happy Place is about, we are following Harriet and Wynne, who are ex-fiancés who have broken up and are spending the week together with their friends in Maine, and they have to pretend to be engaged due to certain circumstances. And it's phenomenal. It is about friendship. It is about growing up, true love, soulmates, finding yourself, people pleasing. Like, it is so good. And I love this book with my whole entire heart. And it's most definitely my favorite book thus far this year. I love it. I love it so much. Second question is best sequel you've read so far this year. We obviously have to go with The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I did debate between this one and Legendary, but this one hurt more, you know? The Ballad of Never After is following Once Upon a Broken Heart. In this book, we are following Evangeline and Jax. Evangeline in the first book has asked Jax to stop the wedding of her one true love, and in exchange, there are 3 cute little kisses that need to be redeemed. Let me just say, you get to this book and it is such a completely different plotline than we thought it was going to be in the first book. Things have evolved, characters have grown, there's so much more going on. This series does follow Caraval. If you have not read the Caraval series, I highly suggest you go read them, although you don't need to, but I highly suggest you go read them because they are very, very good. I look at it on the shelf and I cry a little bit every single day. It's a good book. The third question is a new release you haven't read this year but want to. So I am picking The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I love Lynn Painter. Her writing is so nice. She wrote Better Than the Movies, The Do-Over, Mr. Wrong Number, this is a companion novel to Mr. Wrong Number, which I also really want to read. I just haven't been able to find it to buy it, so I think I need to get Mr. Wrong Number and then read this one. This just sounds so cute. I have been in such a fluffy romance mood, and this sounds exactly like what I need this year. We follow Hallie Piper as she is belly crawling out of a hotel room rock bottom, trying to get her life together, and then she meets Jack Marshall at a wedding, and they decide they don't want to date each other, but they do want to have a competition to see who can find true love first. Hint, hint, I think it's gonna be with each other. And this just sounds like a lovely time. The cover is super cute. It's been sitting here, staring at me in the face, telling me I need to read it now. Hopefully I will get to The Love Wager. Putting it in a video makes it even more likely that I will read this book. The fourth question is the most anticipated book for the second half of this year, and I have a few. So let me just quickly name them off. A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber, the third book in a Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I won't even explain how excited I am for this book. It's gonna hurt so bad, and I'm so excited and I need it now. And then we have Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, which is Salone and Lucian's book, and I am so beyond excited to see these characters. We have been hinted at these characters for so long, and their tension is so palpable that I am dying to read their story. It's going to be everything I need and more. Just everything I need and more. And then the last one that I'm like, ooh, excited to read is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. That's gonna be the second book to Icebreaker, the UCMH series. I think that's the college they go to. And in the series, we follow a different hockey player for every single book. And the first one was a 5-star read, and I absolutely devoured it. It made me believe in love again. Not that I didn't believe in true love, but I just love this book, okay? So I'm very excited for Wildfire, and I cannot wait to see what happens. The cover is so cute. Number 5 is The Biggest Disappointment, and this was easy. Imagine Me by Tahira Mafi. This is, I think, the 6th and final book in the Shatter Me series, and let me just say, it should have stayed at 3. It should have stayed at 3. The last 2 books made me want to gouge my eyes out. That's so dramatic, but I really hated them, and that's all I'm gonna say. Read the first 3 books though. The first 3, phenomenal. The last 3, skip them. 6 is The Biggest Surprise, which was easy again. I have They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry. This is another 5-star read for me. It is so good. I saw the cover in a bookstore and I'm like, that looks cool. Took a little picture, and then when I had a little bit more money, I went back and I purchased it, and I randomly picked it up one day because I was like, I'm in the mood for some ballet, and this book is about ballet. We are following Carlisle as she's growing up, going to her dad's apartment in New York. Her dad is a gay man, and his partner is somebody she absolutely idolizes. And then we follow 17 years later, where she's moving back to New York to kind of reconnect with her father as he's about to pass away. But a big event happened, and we don't know what happened or why they haven't spoken in 17 years, but it's very dramatic and it's very good. And let me just say, if you like dancing and you like ballet, I think you'll love it. And I'm so surprised. This was nowhere on my radar for the year, and I'm just really happy I read it and I got to experience the story. Such a fun, big surprise. Number 7 is a fave new author or new to you author, and I'm just gonna put it out there and I'm just gonna say this really quickly. Stephanie Garber. Stephanie Garber. I read the entire Carvel trilogy and then the first 2 books that are out, obviously, in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and I cannot get enough of her writing. Her writing teleports me into a different world. If you love to live in your books, then please read Stephanie Garber. Her writing is just like a whirlwind of magic and beautiful lyrical ways of saying things. She's just like, she takes my mind, she puts the book there, and she puts it in the book and then wraps it up in a tight, cute little bow hug. I love you, Stephanie Garber. If you have anything, any new works coming out, any little grocery list you want to send me, like, I'll read it. I love your writing. Mwah. Your new auto-buy author. 8 is a new fictional crush, and this, I'm just gonna slightly. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know? Because it's, of course, Julian Hates. The daddy, the brother, the crime boss himself. Ultimate new book boyfriend. He is a Greek god to me. He is so wonderful. He is from the Magnolia Parks universe, specifically the Daisy Hates novels, although he is in all the other ones too. But Julian Hates has my heart. He is a new, very dramatic. He's just so wonderful. I don't have, no words, no words. Because Jessa Hastings wrote them all on the page and made me feel them. I love my fictional paper boyfriend, Julian Hates. He's so amazing. Number 9, my newest favorite character. We have Jude from the Folk of the Air trilogy. Jude is one of the strongest characters I've ever met in my life. She's obviously not real, but she's so strong. She is so strong. She is manipulative. She is smart. She is intelligent. She is conniving. The way her mind works and the way she gets herself out of these situations, and oh my god, her strong spirit, her forgiving nature, and her love for Carden. I love Jude. Jude is wonderful. I am in love with her as a human being. She is human. The Cruel Prince is about Jude, who is a human who lives in a fairy world, growing up in the fairy world, and she just wants to fit in. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't know how to say anything else without spoiling the entire series. I love you, Jude. Number 10 is a book that made me cry, and I'm without a doubt Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This one came as a surprise. I borrowed it from the library and read it on my Kobo through the Libby app. Amazing. Oh god, we are following the story of 2 friends who grew up in a little hospital together, and then they just keep meeting each other at different points in their lives. Eventually, when they're in university, they design a video game together, and it gets pretty popular. And it's just about that. And I'm specifically talking about the chapter, the NPC, non-playable character. It took my heart out of my chest, and it ground it up into little pieces. And I went, Gabrielle Zevin, ouchie, that really hurt. That was so amazing of you to ruin my life like that. It really hurt, and it was so wonderful. It was so good. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow might not make everybody cry, but it definitely made me cry. It's so beautifully written. And then we have a book that made me happy. For number 11, I have Heartstopper Volume 4. Okay, now hear me out. The contents of this book might not be the happiest, but the way the characters developed and the adorable baby little pug puppy that's in this book made me so happy. This is, of course, the 4th book in the Heartstopper novels. It is a graphic novel, so we've got like It's just told like this. Yup. I received them for Christmas. I read all 4 of them this year, and I love all 4 of them this year. These characters make me so happy. I cannot wait for the 2nd season of this show. And yeah, it's just very good. It's very good. It made me very happy. Number 12 is the most beautiful book I've acquired this year, and we are going to talk about The Collected Regrets of Clover by Mickey Brammer. This is a new release. This just came out in May. I have not read it yet, but I'm so excited to read this book. The cover is number 1 what sold me on this book. The contents, I'm sure, are going to be lovely. It is about a girl who is a doula for death, and through that she decides she needs to start actually living her life, and it sounds like a fun little coming of age story. And this cover is so beautiful. Number 13, what book do I need to read by the end of the year? And this one, I need to. We have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This has been on my TBR since the book came out. This book was released in 2015 or a little earlier. It's been on my TBR since then. The contents sound so cool. It is about a man who can travel between different universes, and every universe version of London, England is a different color. There's gray, there's red, there's white, there's black London, and it sounds so cool. He's a traveler. He travels between universes. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. I finally physically own it. I need to read this book. Trinity, read the book. Then the last question we have is a favorite book to movie/TV adaptation. This one's tough because there's a lot of really good ones out there. I'm gonna give you 2. Number 1, Daisy Jones and the Six. Obviously, I love the book, and the TV show does switch some things, which I don't know, I'm kind of okay with. I get it. They had to make it more juicy for TV, but I love how in-depth we get with the characters. I thought the casting was absolutely perfect. It was just phenomenal. Just so absolutely wonderful. Such a good watch. It actually had me sobbing, and it made me appreciate the book a whole lot more. And then I'm going to talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I absolutely hated this book. I rated this a 1 star. This book was terrible, at least to me. I love Jenny Han, and I loved all the boys I've loved before, but The Summer I Turned Pretty was just bad for me. However, I did recently watch the TV show, and I love it. It is everything I need and more. It is young adult me wrapped into a TV show. It is nostalgia. It is wonderful. The acting, amazing. The soundtrack, even better. So I highly suggest watching the TV show and skipping the books. And that's saying something. That's saying something. All right, so that's all I have here for the mid-year freakout tag. I will include all the questions in the description below. If you want to go along with me, maybe give me your list in the comments below. That would be such a fun little time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, being patient with me, having a great time. Please leave a like, a subscribe, a comment. Anything helps me out. Anything that keeps me smiling. I hope you guys have the best day ever. Give lots of love, lots of kisses, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!